let's talk about Black Wall Street. In the end of May of 1921, there was an incident. There was a black shoe shiner who was about 18 or 19. They're going to the elevator. He bumped into a woman. It was said that it was assault. Back then, if you were black, you didn't have the same rights as somebody who was white. So if a white woman accused a black man of assault, that was a big deal. The newspaper in South Tulsa actually headlined the next day saying that it was an assault. They were going to, and apologies, but I have to say the headline, lynch a tonight. This was in the fucking newspaper. So he gets sent to the jail, and a large crowd of mostly white men show up to see this lynching that they heard about. The people from North Tulsa, the black community, heard that there was a crowd of people looking to lynch this guy who hadn't even been to trial yet, came to defend him. Well, guess what happened? Shots rang out. By the next morning, thousands of white men and women, but mostly men and boys, from South Tulsa, armed and marched on North Tulsa. And here's the kicker. They were joined by police and National Guard. They marched into North Tulsa. And in about a 20-hour time period, they looted everything, shot residents, set fires. 35 blocks were destroyed. And based on eyewitness testimony and some forensic evidence that was looked at later on, there were actually fire bombs dropped from crop planes on the buildings as well. The local, investigators who investigated said that they only listed 36 black people from Tulsa as being dead. However, most people think it was in the several hundreds. They were then interned. The 6,000 remaining residents were interned in camps. All the generational wealth that was being built was wiped out. The governor then ends up declaring martial law, and nobody was prosecuted. And then guess what ended up happening a little bit later? You remember the 19-year-old boy? Charges were dropped. The city then rezones Greenwood into industrial, and everybody was forced to move back in there and rebuild with nothing, and it turned into a complete poverty-stricken area. Still is to this day.